Godfred Henry LED ewo honomo ewo empoho in the Western region. Saso and offenso North. Yes, so offenso North assistance now. Caesar Champion for Su LED Dr. Fred Che Asamoah. Ewo the offenso that's the result we are getting now. Saso and the blade Jamaica. LED Andrew Japa Mesa in the second day.
Okay, and Boko Western Regional and Zima seats in all the seats in Zimaland, and this are winning seats in all the 3 seats at war in Zima Sassuinano, NDC, Afa, Sa seats in there. So as it stands now, the NDC is leading the NPP in the parliamentary elections, and then John Mahama is also leading the presidential elections. But that unfortunate incident akoso ewo hono yebesre Ghana for yebesre it is a wow polling station and our constituency what to say to ato na obi de hwa asomdwe obi de declare winner then na wan kasa ayana ufili.
And mind you, sir,
you think so bet me hwe moje egu na work scot free?
Yeah,
obi no, to say I mean, it's not nice. I think we need a president. JB, we need a president. Do elections, sir. Or then a nine basic form. Now, we warning so we be more or be warning the parliamentary candidates. And whoever say what it to be to
yeah,
who ask the EC to declare null and void.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, do baby. This is how we should rule. I mean, manage this country. I mean, how?
Because as it stands now, here,
how?
But you guys, Akosmogo ballot box, sepasi. Look at this.
I mean, why?
Just
maybe I agree. Look, Ube Lusua, Wopa, Kwashe Roma, Fada Bottom, Nonfa Wundi Fufu, Ubefe. Let's not do these things. I mean, why? Why? What was that? Their air corner says somebody thought that they could deploy the military to do the bidding.
To intimidate. And
then that's why I say no. Police phone frame, the police must call. Police phone frame, and you see, these are the things, sir. You can want them say, Ghana, you need a I am waiting to see a day. Many JB Nam. Maybe a CPP ni JB another party. Na ye kuta yen semle yakoto aba na mekwa mso metutia won so se metutia ne yakoto na fa ko ne difufu ne yasore ne yeko me metre fidie so ka cho se meto amajo mama mwa me so me ka chem se still on beto ama na MPP me mama
yeah
yes
so a polling agent
yes also so women organizer I mean this is how we should do it. This is how we should do it. Because a year 2000, second round.
Yeah.
Now my girlfriend is Rama. Now I know ye NDC and I'm here MPP.
Very refreshing.
Yes, it's me took her. Maybe your operations, no.
Did I'm going to chase you.
What's that?
Then I'm going to toss you.
Oh, my bro. I tell you. So, you know what happened? Yeah, quiet basa. Also, Muntimin win you on so. Era.
To put it in a chill so.
Era. Man, did you any? That time you saw ML White.
Okay.
AS. Member man. Because can I had that about Obi toy. And you see, yeah. make off. You know something? And it was so beautiful. Let me say this. Maybe find this on Quatraba.
Oh, go find this on Quatraba.
On Quatraba.
Emma the NDC.
And now, or take up no, I catch him say. Met 20 hours. Met 20 hours. Now, me ma question the polling station.
No, Quatraba.
Now we're safe card. No, I Quatraba no. Now I saw 20 MPP. And I'm so okay. And I also check on driving. I'm so go see me. Oh, man, that's how I'm talking about book room.
Oh, okay.
A-line.
Yes.
I'm saying they also drive. I'm so going to tell. And I'm also driving me a coin. Now, you're bad in your tonchia.
Hey, Jana, Bessie,
there is car.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this point in time.
You see, I remember very well. Honorable Yawasaf Mafu.
Yes.
Ninuya Bakoso de Mafu.
Yeah.
I've forgotten. Is it Kojo Mafu no Capital FM, Capital Radio. Honorable Saf Mafu with Nuya Bako.
Yes.
I mean, 2008. No, who was Saf Mafu?
Yeah.
But I'm here, no. I'm trying to say, Eddie
George Napo.
Honorable MPO who ya so Lydia.
Yeah.
Lydia. What's no every
yeah.
Or you draw every kakra. Na nana down for pa. Or set tree.
Okay.
Na or ye typical Ashanti or ye typical NDC. Typical Ashanti, typical NDC.
Which is unusual.
Na eba I to I can not to so say o. Saka adam be woni bi omudia come yes and do call FDA. But said the idea ten the afi we. Ye be win mu. And one to one we no over for more whiskey. Obi twa no whiskey fine, but this need to worry nam.
Yeah, I mean.
Ulusu are simple. Young fire elections it's one of the things. When you lose, I mean, why? I mean, fuck Godwin. Ewo Asiliba, Ewo Ahomano, Eso. Godwin, what temenka, Majwe?
Major so captain.
Na Bibia Bokode.
Boko na onso
Brapani, me ho yedo. Boy en komo na yenko.
Yeah, that nyame say. Hello.
Bacho, my NTO constituency I wanted the ecoso.
Right. So we were Dom Kwabenya constituency had almost say and no one of the biggest polling center or Dom Kwabenya had Anglican 1 and 2 primary school, which is consisted of 13 polling centers. Now, so 13 polling centers, before I will even delve into the number of people who casted their votes, for the very first time, I was a polling center 30 years. Anglican 1 and 2 primary school, NDC4, we need both presidential and parliamentary side as well. For the very first time in the constituency. Most of residents know they want to change because since the MPP took charge the past years, they've not seen any sort of development in the area. About almost schools, almost roads, astroturfs, health center, they haven't seen any improvement at all. And that was the reason why Omar voted massively. NDC for both parliamentary and presidential. Before, earlier, Mike Okoye Jr., who is the son of the former Speaker of Parliament, Professor Mike Okoye, said, or is so confident, because the Dom Kabenya constituency is a stronghold, the new patriotic party, stress there, and Pinani Dimina from an opinion, he was very excited, hoping we need Dom Kabenya constituency and but this Buha involving Joasafwa, Auguste, MP, Emma Dom Kabenya, the absenteeism from Parliament and all of the drama leading to her losing her ministerial position in Emma NDC parliamentary candidate now or aspire to be an MP, which is Faustina Eliklim Akubu Enya confidence here this time around original 2020 against Ajasa for Wenyano and the confidence that this time around the original against Michael Quay Jr. Ebemano Enya Abatoɔ. So let's now delve into the outcome, the results that came out tonight after EC officials may announce it. So over Anglican 3B, NPP 4 94, and NDC 4 151. Over Dome 1, NPP 4 101, and NDC 4 140. Over Anglican 3A, NPP 115, and NDC 146. Yeah, maybe boy presidential, no. Uba domicile the NPP 93, and NDC 123. Uba Anglican 7, NPP 183, and NDC 202. Uba Anglican 1A, NPP 103, and NDC 141. Uba Anglican 1A, NPP 103, and NPP 144, 41, that's what I mentioned. Uba Anglican 1B, NPP 110, and NDC 141. Uba Anglican 2, NPP 197, and NDC 209. Uba Anglican 4, NPP 114, and NDC 198. Uba Domi 5A.
So Ghana has just achieved a huge feat in its industrial. Ghana has just achieved a huge feat in its industrial sector. The commissioning of the country's largest bitumen processing plant ever in the country, located in Tema, Accra. It's October 2024, and this state-of-the-art facility, a collaboration between Ghana's Royal PLC and Côte d'Ivoire's Société Multinationale du Bitumen, SMB for short,
243. It becomes a very TSR results when you know that the NDC has led in all the 13 polling centers. And just like I indicated, so for the pushing of the people, basically, no moving things, not many and it's results outcome at the buy. When we move to the parliamentary side, Michael Quay, Junior, any Christina Ellis are all contested the second time against Michael Quay, Junior, or the first kid on the block now. NPP 4, HB Poli, 99, or Anglican 3B, and NPP 4, 151. Uba Domi 1, NPP 4, 104, and NDC 143. Uba Anglican 3A, my corporate senior, it's me 118, and Christina 150. Uba Anglican 7, 183 for Michael Quay Jr. and Christina, and so 208. So counting down to about 18 of the polling centers, and war Anglican 1 and 2 primary school, no. Miss Mia, I can hear said NDC4 in both presidential and parliamentary side as well. But before next one, I will just run you through the historic background about Dom Kobinya constituency economy or more elections. When you meet me, I can say a Kufuado of the NCP, it means to secure a commanding victory with 78,467 votes, which represents 60.58% of valid vote cast in our previous elections. Hello, Captain. Let me ask also.
All right. Godwin, I mean, now I see.
Yes.
Now, yeah, forward the SSU DH. The best be an hour, Yaswati.
Hello.
Godwin, what's the maker?
Captain.
Yes. So, what's a Biaka about the Brian now?
Results are made from the various polling stations.
Very well. Very well.
Polling stations are what they are. Now presidential, it's almost like say NDC are winning almost all the polling stations at what Domi Kwabeya constituency, no?
Not almost all the polling stations, but they are make us a Anglican 1 and 2 primary school, no, and on a biggest or don't Kwabeya constituency, I say was that constituency one of no 13 polling centers. It is not polling centers, no, and NDC for all the stations, no, presidential and parliamentary. And according to constituency, so this is the first time ACC ever
all right, Mamindo has a God with BBS Tram Pachometon Safreo.
Yeah,
all right, Godwin, what's it in Kano? I told you, said Dominic the biggest polling stations I walk Ghana, Hanono, na BBC.
And the biggest TV station in Ghana now, Ayodia TV. And of course, the whole world is watching us.
Me penifone tonchia. Ye tonchia. Eti, my young man sona a queer sapoma ene na koyo ewo hona fe onen into an komono so obequia wo ye
Captain Yankopon adom me ho ye
to aso ho my
yo Captain say dia ye di kan abo amane ama ewiase Ghana for ate dia kwaso etu a akwaso enne anwumre ya ewo awutu senya East constituency abra Felix Nakoyo ene ne nkrofo evisite polling centers bia omodane wo ho a wo mo ba fie na sesei abrantia ba kokra na wato ananom ewon siedo na ba ko ka ho nsusu aprapra ani eye nyan no eno ho a ene da so wo no honorable Nakoyo ewo menche Honorable, good evening. Good evening. Honorable, a day na kwaso wa wutu senya East. Anyway, ye nya asepa na the center Metroaba a step to Christ polling center. Omoye agenkaina. Misumeko hopo witness CBT. We are Minister other centers are omo putting things together. It's a mere free step to Christ on. And I'm who say V8B across it, my official car use. So can I know I may use for over 1 year. A year party can be used. It's a V8 HAC a cano. Na me call for and a tecan. Na and one say you say in conformity sa V8 canimono. O master to say on to true. Yake young call from Yenuje. Omoda from ground. Omoda from it, and the caswa, Yante Asempa. Na ye in results are a free each of the polling center, Eba. Say ye didn't put him. Say na call you, a didn't put him. Say NDC, a didn't put him, our caswa. Hawa Kumsin is down. She has lost the election terribly. Na me percent Ghana 49 said the same people are making one over the last 4 years. Simon, Kamal, and the rest. Amakan wasem. Last 2 weeks from a year press conference. I can't wasem. Say Hawakumsin. Asako Pasa Simon Bokukais. I'm in Tume Abo Hotel Sa Omowo. Our police are ATM. These are the same people are Omo Ekunipa. Omo Eku in comfort. Ewo mi fear say. Ghana is not safe. Kaswa is not safe. Me person me can't check party for now from Accra, across the regions, across Ghana. Someone in Ghana, among Fachim, and Bra Kaswa, because Kaswa, this is unprecedented. Yeah, Papa, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, we're winning elections, hands down. Mudia Bamu Bibia, but let's now call you Okuno. Misume winning elections, hands down. Hawa is a gunner, and if she cannot take this bitter pill, she can go and drown the ocean. Yeah, pray Obibia, say Munko Coalition Center. Now don't be deterred by this distraction. Go to the Coalition Center. I am coming to join you there for that declaration because the seat is ours. Captain Nakoyo and Yate Nenkano, I said, yeah, the kind of traffic chanama, a reason in our no. Says, yeah, way, and Nakoyo is here.
Yeah, Captain.
Beton, Captain.
Pacho, Bisana, Koyo, Mammy said, not war, but not cast, and I don't do say, dear, no, none,
Captain, Papa.
Besides, none a cast, and yes, say, cast, and a Momode Kofi, did not a say.
Honorable Obana Casne, yes, and I get 20 Kayano, and no now with Timubino.
It's 20 Kayano, me official Mahindra, now me usual Paticano, and no, now me Timubino, and no swan a chono a Kaya.
And to 1 more 20 car woman, not one more at a car nechi, no more to front, and I have found one more
to make a nechi. And it's only count.
Can't actually say a child, and yes, a child will be a woman, but can't actually out yatum.
I can't pick up, say, hey, pick up Mahindra pick up. It's almost a carnage.
And another what's in
Captain. See me question you never said, mammy. Cast and I yet do saying back home, and on no, I won't be them ranting and witchery. And I said, Cast and I yet do saying,
Can I hear me? No back way,
that's right.
Yeah.
The idea woman had the idea chaining to a kind.
The idea train.
Eti kano Land Cruiser Black no a cross wood and I said a share montem.
A buyer the mechanic almost started some more fire.
Wo can and I said the do can no.
There be me a mechano.
Okay.
Me a mechano.
Patrona when I will drive it.
Pacho Debbie.
Okay.
Now I drive an Chicano.
All right. Mo can now yes and a team.
Now yeah, 6 and a
okay. Na Pacho, what 2 gunshots not a bed do be say?
Yet say 2 3.
Bed do be 3. Okay.
Yeah.
Eti one more 2 no. One di mwachi be sam ho koya na so mo dane wo mo ho.
Pacho mo dane o mo ho koye.
All right. Ekuya ne into aso.
Okay, eti honorable saying, and I'm babe na to as at enumere ya we say apostle.
I am from police farmer. Oma Bahase. Ama ya kasa. What is no?
No, she was not.
Oma Befa. Echo. Na ya kekra. Police one has spotted mechano with their body. And I'm what you call your friends say me baby on the call because I didn't go with them. Now, the person make a check a party for in us and man almost straight. They should start jubilating because we have won the elections hands down. Omoma energy, na protection no. Omoma emo anyade. They cannot steal this victory away from us. How Kumsin has lost the election. Kaswa is green.
And Captain, I would say is Felix na choreography and I decide interview you fry ya diabre yashafui.
I mean that was say for that wonderful report. We share umrena customer you know and so na no doable. I am yes a Ghana ni ba kuwa ya na habe. Because Ghana be dead. I want everybody to live. Na no. Together, let's build this country devoid of whoever. Watch I say, maybe your mind corner. I wish you free. Yet to come on Ghana compare business in Belgium. Come on.
Belgium, they say so. Mauritius,
Belgium. On mind to say Belgium. On mind to say Singapore, Switzerland. On mind to say wine, Sweden, Denmark, Ghana, Kohi, or called the Sweden, or called Denmark, Ghana, Kohi, Ghana, called Belgium, or Kohi, or so called Pebisa. I mean, you do baby, a mama and tenacity. MPP, Mfani Pebian Kusibe Bia. And this Mfani Pebian Kusibe Bia. Because passport now would to quiet Yademano. Would you Wagana Hakran Bush for the Wujania, who party ding a new passport? Party ding a new passport. For once, we a bebuna, my draining Yajuba. Mamma Manson of any other pa, and to so me ban after various polling stations across the country, and then we'll let you know what's happening over there. All right, Adeba, Majo.
Middle Captain.
Abatoɔ asofiri hɔ ma me.
Yo Captain with Beriam F4 Abrikma not Asoeɛ. Now who them who Abrikma was 14 electoral areas that was not and so about. And another sense do 280 and hot or share Abatoɔ apostle. Upon on so pepepenum and a police station 280 or dear charges there or they may any pictures name the results no at the population center Hanum. Now by a manota, but the model population center Nabano. Or call a market is a sort of a BNW speakers society, the more and association.
All right, it's a resource band or horses here between Abubiama.
It's a say, and I'm about whom you know about a catch the pa. The time it's a good to your notes at it. Nina was on Shananka or Monsanto appreciating the results Nina and Kayan Bottle. And if I could pay any Waha, and it's the same because they say a 40 electoral areas no. You now go through media and you're possible. Make like I say, I'm going to cry and do a electoral areas or and as also a post that's near 208 now. People or movie or movies was maybe about continuing to have my show actually are 200. And I did also everything near Drew Young Baby about 100 Grammy while 280 that there was almost they said the Yama catch upon to baby.
All right, Mamma, now I say Adepa. Eti Adepa and wote nenkano I don't know. Ode?
Yes. So Mamma running Ghana for any we are suffered through to some provisional results aba as it starts now. Mamma focus on one Mutaka and Peswaso Asawase. And as it starts now, Mutaka is leading with a difference of 10,147 votes. It's leading with a difference of 10,147 votes. Now, Minoka say 139 polling centers and about various polling centers. Well, Asawase, Asawase Esopa, Omukuta 214. Out of the 214, 193 and available to see. And these are the provisional results. Enough of the NPP. And you're starting 26,956. 26,956. And Mutaka Mubarak, 37,103.
Aswase will forever remain with the NDC.
Very interesting.
Aswase will remain with the NDC.
But congratulations to Waudia A+.
Okay.
Yes.
A+ FM.
A+. It's a comfortable lead. In fact, when we were doing it, we started jubilating cry.
On what started jubilating, but among kind polling stations in Nigeria.
But we started jubilating.
But only
yes. And we started jubilating.
You can't say A+ and win you. You say Olidi. Honorable in Team Fojo Olidi.
Yes.
In Team Fojo Olidi. Me who say Obi send a message here in Team Fojo, so nobody has said that. Also Olidi. Now let me take you to Jano what to when is annual noto?
Meninye. Yes, I come to pa.
As a Sunyane Yatani.
I would not be surprised.
I said, baby,
Adansia Sukwa Katie Hammond. Katie Hammond will call, but the NDC candidate have had a tough time. A very tough contest.
Then for Miracle Abuaje, Kasama from Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia campaign.
Yes.
Or central friendship
for too much. We're basically asking for what every single Ghanaian is clamoring for. But as usual, we have our friends from the NDC, their usual playbook. 4 years is here again, and we are going through what we always go through every cycle. Our electoral process is one of the most transparent electoral processes you can have in the world. And we don't have to do too much to ensure that we get what it is that we are looking for. And to see the NDC jittery, extremely jittery. I mean, just a few minutes ago, we all watched a very unnecessary, very, very unnecessary, disgraceful press conference from the NDC. And you can see the demeanor, the high level of uncertainty, you know, from them. They are completely unsettled. And it's simply because, like I always said, one, they were overly complacent. Two, they took the good people of this country for granted, and they assumed that once it is 8 years, they are coming to power. Reality is settling in, and instead of doing a self-check and a reality check and improve upon themselves, they want to inflict upon the entire country the damage that they themselves have brought upon themselves, and they want us to all live in it together. That is what we are not going to allow. And we want to thank every single Ghanaian, every single citizen of this country, both those within and without, those living abroad, for working together with all the institutions and bringing us this far. We encourage everybody to remain calm but extremely vigilant. Trust us. Believe us. This election is going to go to a very sensible conclusion. Nothing else. Trust the MPP on that. It is going to go through a very, very, very successful conclusion, and a very sensible one as that. As usual, the NDC is doing what they know how to do best, behaving in the most irresponsible and disgraceful manner that you can expect from a political party. They are calling on their supporters at this hour. Elections are over. Your supporters were supposed to mobilize the people and get them to their votes, their polling stations, and cast their votes. That is what political parties do. Simple process. Campaign, encourage your supporters to canvass for you, get the voters to go to the polling station, cast their vote for you. Everybody in the full glare of the public, the counting is done at the polling station. You have agents. All the other political parties have agents. You finish, you sign at the polling station that you accept the results at your polling station. When that is done, simple process. Move your pink sheet from the polling station and take it to the constituency coalition center, where you have your agents there with the Electoral Commission. And what is going to happen there is simple. The sheets, the pink sheet that your agent signed at the polling station is being brought to the constituency coalition center. And that is where those figures are going to be put together and summed up. When that is done, the constituency would now pick the constituency sheets from the constituency coalition center and take it to the regional coalition center. At the regional coalition center, let's use the Eastern region as an example. 33 constituencies. All they are going to do at the regional coalition center is to pick the 33 constituency coalition sheets, which you have a copy, and sum it, and then move it from there and bring it to the center, which is the Electoral Commission here in Accra, and they put together 16 coalition results, and we have our elections called. And so it's baffling, extremely baffling, to have the NDC behave the manner in which they are behaving. They continue to also peddle some falsehood. Somewhere around 4:30 p.m. thereabouts, the NDC held a press conference, and they are saying that the NDC organizer in the Ashanti region has discovered 500,000 ballot papers, which they claim are ballot papers that they have discovered being hidden by the MPP. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a complete falsehood. It's a complete lie. It's a falsehood. All we saw in that video is Joseph Yamin, the organizer of the NDC in the Ashanti region, holding his own phone, having a camera placed on him by his own people in a certain room with no resistance. No owner of the room, no owner of the house, not a single person they met in the room accustomed, standing and having a conversation, cheerfully telling somebody that I've discovered ballot papers. Our checks indicate that, first of all, the room they claim they discovered those ballot papers are not even at the location they indicated. Number two, these are actually ballot papers that Yamin himself took to the Ashanti region for whatever reason. Remember, they had already given some of these ballot papers to the youth organizer of the Atrima Kwama constituency. The police had already issued a statement on that. We showed a video earlier on, and maybe before I conclude, I'll show that video, where the son of the constituency youth organizer of the Atrima Kwama constituency was arrested by the Ghana police. For attempting to stuff a ballot box with 79 ballot papers. These ballot papers were part of the ballot papers that you saw Joseph Yamin standing by. What had actually happened was that Joseph Yamin realized that he had 30 minutes for elections to end, and he had not been successful to execute that task that had been given to him by his party. And so to save his face, he all of a sudden goes on video using a selfie and telling the whole country that he's found some ballot papers that belongs to the MPP. That's an outright lie. It's a complete falsehood, and it's something that everybody should disregard. We are calling on the Ghana Police Service to investigate to the latter that video that Joseph Yamin has put out, because they are an absolute threat to the stability of this country. They do not show us the number of the alleged ballot papers. We never see it. We only see some brown boxes or brown papers, in the corner. They do not tell us the exact quantity that they have, because you have the deputy spokesperson of the flag bearer of the opposition party indicating on her Facebook post that they have discovered some 300,000 ballot papers. Then Joseph Yamin says 500,000. Then another NDC person says 400,000. So it tells you the kind of people they are and what it is that they are doing. Again, we do not see any MPP official in the video. So think about this. Joseph Yamin, for some reason, has magic. Identifies a building that has ballot papers, goes into that house, and there is nobody in the house. Joseph Yamin walks into that house seamlessly. The Joseph Yamin we know has a suspicion that there is a ballot paper hidden in the house, would start recording himself from the road before even getting to the gates, before walking into the room. Strangely, Joseph Yamin switches off his phone or his video, breaks into whichever house, opens whichever door, gets into a room, and then only begins to record himself inside a room. These guys really take the entire country completely as fools, because it doesn't just add up. The same Joseph Yamin gets into the room before inviting media. The Joseph Yamin we know, having picked intelligence that there is some ballot papers hidden somewhere by the MPP, will call the media, call police, and walk in there with them before he even puts a video on himself. He doesn't do any of these things. Again, we only see him in the corner with a video on himself. Now, you've discovered some 500,000 ballot papers in an MPP stronghold, and then the only evidence you show us is a selfie of yourself in a room, having a conversation with somebody excitedly, telling the person that you've discovered some ballot papers, and then telling us that you are now calling police to come and do whatever it is that you're expecting them to do. We all know the reasons why the NDC are behaving this way. Everybody in this country knows that this is not the first time we are going through this. Unfortunately, as a people, we have to deal with being inflicted with this every single election period. The NDC are clearly losing these elections, and they know it. As we speak, the elections have already been counted at the polling stations. Every political party has copies of the pink sheet. They know it. They know very well they are losing these elections, and that is why they would call for havoc. We are winning these elections as a party. Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia is winning these elections, and that's why we are saying that let's protect it. If we are winning, why would we want the electoral processes to be disrupted when we are winning? And so, I'm sure a lot of you recall the story in the Bible. I think it's a Solomon story. The story of the two rival women, where they went to sleep, woke up in the morning, and one of the babies are dead. Now the king calls these two women fighting over the living child. And then he says, why are you fighting? They say, this is my child, this is my child. Then the king says, okay, no problem, bring me a sword. This is the living one. Cut the living child into two so that you can all have a half of it. Now, you remember The woman who knew very well that the dead child is her said, yes, kill the baby. Kill the baby. Now the woman who knew that this child is my child, and because he's my child, I don't want the baby dead, said that, my king, if he would please her, give her the child. All this woman sought to do was to make sure that her child does not die. But the other lady that knew that she was guilty, knew that she had already lost her child, was willing for both of them to lose their children. That's exactly what the NDC are doing. They know they've lost. They know they are nowhere near victory in these elections. And that is why they would irresponsibly call on their supporters to move towards the coalition centers to disrupt the coalition centers. Already, we have heard of incidences in some of the constituencies. We saw some on TV, when some NDC persons were somewhere in Dansoman, breaking through the coalition center and basically attacking security services. What is this? At the coalition centers, you have your agent. Why do you want to go and destroy ballot papers and disrupt the electoral process if indeed you are confident that you have won these elections? Why? Why would any political party that is willing and ready to lead this country, why would any political party that is very, very clear in his mind that he has won this election want to disrupt these electoral processes? We will not allow that. Just as we've told you from the get-go, throughout the process, we have blocked each of the ill intent of the NDC. Every strategy they brought into this election has failed. Joseph Yamin, we know, has a suspicion that there is a ballot paper hidden in a house, would start recording himself from the roof before even getting to the gates, before walking into the room. Strangely, Joseph Yamin switches off his phone or his video, breaks and we are going to continue to ensure that they fail at it. And this one is also going to fail. At this juncture, we are waking every single MPP supporter up. Wake up. Call your families, call your brothers, call your sisters, go to the coalition centers, protect the EC, help the police protect our electoral system. Our democracy needs to be protected. And it will take the citizens to protect our democracy against this dangerous political party, the NDC. Go there, stand there, touch nobody, but make sure that nobody touches any electoral material. Make sure that nobody touches any security officer, and make sure that nobody touches any electoral officer. If anybody comes to the coalition center and attempts to touch anybody at the coalition center, you have our permission to touch that person because you are protecting democracy. That you have our blessing, and we stand by you for doing the right thing because that will be a patriotic action. As it stands now, our call on you is to collaborate and cooperate with these officers, electoral officers and security officers, and ensure that we protect the ballot that the Ghanaian citizen has cast, stood in the sun, some of them being beaten by rain and cast their votes. We are clearly wondering what it is that the NDC and their leader is seeking to achieve by these unnecessary and reckless comments that they are making. Not a single constituency as we speak has even lifted the hands of any parliamentary candidate in their constituency, ladies and gentlemen. It is a process. As we speak, it is just 9:54. Every constituency you go to, they are tabulating their results. They are collating the pink sheets from the polling station. When they are done, that is when they will lift their hands of the parliamentary candidate that has won, and the electoral officer there will now declare that parliamentary candidate the winner. It is then and only then that any responsible political party would come on air and declare and indicate that they have won. We have our results. We know all the seats we've won already, but we are responsible. We are responsible. And we believe that to protect the sanctity of our electoral process and democracy, we should hold on to our numbers and our results until the Electoral Commission declares at the constituency level. Then we'll declare. Throughout the process, from now till tomorrow, any moment that the Electoral Commission lifts the hands of any parliamentary candidates, that is from the MPP, we'll call you and we'll declare to you. That is what responsible political parties do. This election is going to be won with intelligence and not muscles. No matter how strong you are, No matter how much muscles you are, trust us. We are beating you with intelligence. And we are going to do it like we've always done it in previous elections. And like I always say, just as it is in the DNA of the NDC, whilst we are thinking and processing and using the due process, they are pumping, like they say it, and they are lifting metals. And then by the time they realize, they have lost. And then their followers will rise up against them. And then for them to hide behind the shame, they will call on their followers on the street. For the NDC followers, if you get on the street and the security agencies get hold of you, remember, you will be on your own. They will not be there with you. As we speak, Charles, the gentleman who is the son of the youth organizer of the NDC at Achuma Kwama constituency, is in police custody all alone. All alone. None of the NDC leaders are there with him. He is there all alone. And be rest assured, the police have shown clearly and indicated that they are on top of issues. And so if you get out there and misbehave to disrupt the peace of this country, you are going to find yourself wanting and you will be dealt with all alone. I leave all of us with 1 Kings 3:16. 1 Kings chapter 3, verse 16. When you read 1 Kings chapter 3, verse 16, and you understand that parable of the two women, you understand clearly what is happening with the NDC. It is nobody's fault that you are not seen as a credible alternative. Please, let us live in peace. Kindly, save us all the trouble. Kindly, let us all live in peace. You recall, in the year 2020, after the December elections, the NDC went on the street for weeks, destroyed properties, disrupted lives, spent months in court, only for them, 1 year down the line, the chairman of the NDC today, to go campaigning to their followers and tell them that their lawyer actually told them that they have no case and that they have no evidence. But because they wanted to energize the base and not be seen to be weak, they spent the time and wasted everybody's time in the court. That's exactly what they are doing again. We don't mind. They can keep all this emotional roller coaster to themselves and their followers, but they should not draw the entire country into this unnecessary disruption. We will get back to you in due course when the Electoral Commission begin to call the parliamentary and presidential elections at the constituency level, and we share that information with you appropriately. Until then, friends from the media, we are calling on you to work with us to ensure that we keep the peace and safety of this country in one piece. And we are doing this not because we do not have muscles. We are doing this simply because we believe we have won these elections and we want to have a country that is intact enough for us to be able to govern. Thank you very much. Three brothers. Medianum, Ebusiafo, Mijidi say, Ebepem Sambre, Yamubebre, Yentumin Kata Yenikra, and I. Now, the Dikai, Yabebo, Ghana for in Abasu say, Yetumi Aqua Batu Yimuna, Yevina Sumjemua, Basabasa Yibiamba. No Crane say, and they Saudi Abatoɔ yet to Ukraine to America for the Unkra. Muna Mubu say, Yakoya Nimpa, Yakoya Nimusha Quaya Faswa, Obia to Nicosa line, Tonabania, dear, the Sasa, and then they say, Yababo Mubai, na Yaya Biakamo. Na Enkoba say, you bet to turn us and ya say no. Then they, NDC, and they, penny for you know. A Kamia say, almost say, or mind my yina, Yama Hokwine. Yatua baby, Yatua baby, the Akan say, more agent, ever Konamoni Electoral Commission, the police for Quatsanase. Now, and to 3 hours, Yaka. And when you say, you bet in Diana Nadia, and then Cranty Akokrum, Aqua Sanyama, Ako Preprebi. Now, say I tell my way, when I NDC for. Ebe fair press conference, I catch up followers, some coalition center there. Ebusiafo, NDC 4% almost say my near day, and my yama hokwan. It is some way, the air catcher MPP Nibia or Ghana half an inch and so be in What Diane, Fair Obusia, Fair 1 for 4, MPP Nibia, the Bia will be an yane. Nako coalition center or constituency. Kobo Electoral Commission police for Mobile. Kobo police for no. Okwa, Kutia police for them. Now only Montana, your best sepe, our coalition center. Now can agency a beco. Then say a man is for Quanoma Coco and Quadi. The bebo, your process, no, and mobile. The GD said Abatoɔ, Dr. Mahmoud Bamia, Dim Kunim. We didn't Kunima, ye gidi say Abatoɔ we ye MPs no dodo na wini Abatoɔ no pink sheets ye je every police station no ye saka ye de nyina dada eti ye nim de ye nya na mu emra ne say eye electoral commission nko a e na betumi abobo amma no eye mienu de di kan constituency level no electoral commission bebobo na ho na no oma paw nipa omo gidi say MP abanwai den wedi no kura ne say constituency ni nyapa ana say electoral officer ni nyapa nipa no constituency ne pe afede yen as a political party ye betumi de nipa ni ya den atudwa say omo nyan ye de a na say ye di kan e de betudwa even though you cry your figures no ye de betudwa wan hwa na ye de basabasa ya den aba oman nim ye process no ya bato ho hyehyɛ no eye bibia eye mmerɛ kra ye to aba ne wi a mo nyina mo di adanse bebia mo to aba na ye nyina kɔgyina ho na dwume ya kenkan e ma ya bobɔ ye wie no obi asan saa krata na ye fa ne pink sheet na agent ne sign ye no ye de nyina ba constituency coalition center ye bedu ho a ɛhɔ ne yakeka bom ye ka bom wi a ɛhɔ ne ye behu dia constituency ni mu MP a owi ne ye ɛna president no so de yɛ owi ne ye na de ntia ɛho behia sɛ wo ye amanyoko ɛsɛ ɔto boase ne sɛ ye du coalition center ho a obi tumi frɛ sɛ yɛn san kenkan biem ɛmra no ma ho kwan enti sɛ wɔnhwɛ ne ye na sɛ woka sɛ ne sheet na menya wɔ police station ntim ne bɛkekan a wɔanhwɛ na de basabasa yɛ dɛn akɔba enti sɛ NDC fo bɛfrɛ press conference mabaka kyɛ ɔmo kyitafoɔ sɛ ɛsane sɛ ɔmo hu sɛ ɔmo lusu nti ɔmo kɔ coalition center na ɔmo kɔ yɛ basabasa ne deɛ yɛ mma saa kwan no ebusuafoɔ munya gidie wɔ MPP mu yɛayɛ bi pɛn yɛayɛ ne saa wɔnyɛ da di kan yɛyɛ deɛ NDC fo yɛ yi nso wɔnyɛ da di kan ɔmo di saa dwumadie yi 2016 ɔmo yɛ bi 2020 ɔmo yɛ bi ɔmo ayɛ atoatoa so saa sɛbesɛbe ɔmo nhyɛ dɛ nya suahunu biara mfiri saa dwumadie no a ɔmo di nim na yɛn yɛnim kwan a yɛde ɔmo fa so mungyama yɛn yɛbɛhwɛ ama mo yɛbɛbɔ yɛ electoral process no ho ban to ensure sɛ Ghana ni bie no wɔto aba namba no yɛbɛbu na bɔnfi anaasɛ yɛbɛto atwene MPP fo nyina nkɔ coalition center ho ne yɛnkɔbɔ yɛaba no a yɛato ɛno ho ban wokɔ a kyia police ne nsɛm kyia electoral commission officer ne nsɛm ne yɛntena hɔ ɛmfa wo nsa nkɔ bia na mmom sɛ NDC ne bi de ne nsa ka police ne bi anaa NDC ne bi de ne nsa ka electoral officer bi afa wo nsa ka NDC no ɛsane sɛ saa mbrɛ no na wobɔ ɔman no ɛho ban yɛsom obia sɛ ɔnkɔ na ɔnkɔ sɛe biribia ɛwɔ coalition center na mmom sɛ ɔmodi kan ba hɔ no bɛyɛ deɛ a yɛma wo ho kwan yɛn yɛbɛtaa w'akyi ne yɛabɔ wo ho ban ɛsane sɛ wobɔ ɔman no ɛho ban deɛ ɛka nyina ne sɛ mu nyina mobɛkae Solomon abakɔsɛm na ɛwɔ Bible mu no mmaa mmienu abaatan mmienu na ɔmo ne ɔmo ba kɔdaeɛ no yɛda so ɔreyɛ no na baako ada ne ba no so ama ne ba no awu yɛnya ne yɛ no akɔyɛ akasakasa ɛsane sɛ nkɔlaa ne sɛ ɔmo sɛ paa because ɔmo nyinaa papa baako enti wei sɛ deɛ ɔte aseɛ ne yɛ me ba wei so sɛ wei yɛ me ba wei so wei yɛ me ba yɛkɔ ho saa ɛna ɛkɔɔ nana anim nana hwɛ yɛ no asɛm ne ka yɛ den ɛsane sɛ nkɔlaa ne sɛ nti ɛden sɛ wobɛhu deɛ a ɛyɛ ne ba nti nana adwene mu dɔ nti deɛ ɔkaeɛ ne sɛ wɔmbrɛ me sekan sɛ mo sɛ akɔlaa wei yɛ mo ba nso yɛ baako pɛ mo yɛ mmienu nti yɛbɛkyɛ ne mu mmienu na yɛ obi afa na obi ade akɔlaa ne deɛ fa yɛ de ɛkɔ fie na deɛ teɛ ne sɛ wokyɛ akɔlaa a ɔte ase mu mmienu a ɔbɛwu nti maame na onim sɛ nokorɛ ɔno na ne ba ewu no ɛhɔ a na ohuri gyina mu na na anko no na na kyɛ ne mu mmienu afa fama me ɛhɔ na nana hu sɛ wo ɛnyɛ wo ba deɛ onim sɛ akɔlaa no yɛ ne ba nkasa no ɔsɛ nana wadaroma mesrɛ wo akɔlaa wei me na ɛyɛ me ba me soro bɛte sɛ mɛtena se na me a me ba me yɛ mu ba ya pai ne mu sɛ deɛ anka nana fa kyɛ no anyɛ hwɛ kura mpo sɛ akɔlaa no te ase a mehu sɛ me ba no yɛ dɛn ɛte nkwam ɛhɔ na ɔhene no kae sɛ wo ɛna akɔlaa no yɛ wo ba enti gye wo ba fa yɛ dɛn fa kɔ NDC fo hu sɛ Abatoɔ no ɔmadi nkugu ɔmawe asɛe edwire gu bonim yɛ sɛ deɛ ɛna sɛ akamu kura sɛ deɛ ɔda fam no ɔnsura ahwe aseɛ ɔmo ahu sɛ ɔmo awie edwire gu awie enti na ɔmo frɛ ɔmo kyitaafoɔ sɛ ɔmo nkɔ coalition center ɛnkɔkɔ sɛe no sɛ sɛe na abɔ yɛ nyinaa ɛmbɔ biara Dr. Mahamudu Bamia edi nkonim MPP parliamentary candidate edi nkonim yɛbɛbɔ ho ban kɔpem sɛ electoral commission fo bɛnya asomdwe ɛde abobɔ Abatoɔ no mobɛkae a ɛnkyɛ yɛ biara 2020 Abatoɔ ɛtu yɛ yi NDC for the Mika caucus on Wedding Kunim after they lost. Lucy Vieno, a catch up with Chita for Yinan say, MPP for Yomu, and Tomunga Chrome, Amubejina Chrome for almost a week. And disturb on my way, Nina say Niama, and Okwe Dumania sell car, ya pipe car, ya sell for office near there. A community Omuko Cotton. There be some say evidence about Kumpo, Wamu from the court, Muso Munibi. Casio calculator, and the MPP, and the MPP chairman, the Cotton, a friend is saying, a court. Who beside say, aha, Usuya say, when you know so or say Manfamba. In fact, Omo coalition centers or Muko Kinkai MNDC, Omuko Numti, Echo Company, say, tea and biscuits in your day, and come. Ebiano Muyene, more agent or coalition center. Moba county, Mobanya Gideon, more agents in the mono. A son say, and Brana ye church agents, no, at the Suya, and acquire first way a day no mano. No more training macho men. And Brana ye training agents, sending a back fellow forms, sending a back in Kano, not end this for 8 training macho men. It's a name, and men that's what I say a Kenkano, macho men in Tokanetium, Fiteria, Omakosa, and then in Tokani Nancy, the Biaduri and farm muscles, and yet you found more than a year. Yet they are Kenkai and a year. A son is all man prepare for Kenkai. Almost say, Yanko and Coseno, Yamma Saquino, MPP, Yawa Macho, and a sounds one in Dia a dear day, a Dijumano. And see a quimby a befas way a bebo, Abatoɔ no a bino, Yabebo, yet they are draining Yansa, and a aiding Kunim, Ewa Batoemu, and Yam Macho, and they are one day I will win him. The essay Ghana for Yana said, Monda, Munya Gidia Wayamu. Munya, one from within two MPP, a bina, more two Abamayano, one from near day and 2 years old. 10 year bomb Mabano by in 2016, 10 year bomb Mabano by in 2020, no, and yet now you are Bemwa, and a Tiaco, and a Bema Quine, so be, and bet Jim Abama day, and free Musim, the Baba Mabano Abayamamo. Near my electoral commission, the police when you Asoeɛ day, Ayomojuma, and Brano, say electoral commission. Aya declaration or constituency level, you be free, they are catch them. So when you come, Kokoda, say, what you know when you come to coalition center, Nakobo, electoral commission for home by a day, MIA. The more GDA party, Yebi, our MPP, Amayu Kumu say, what banner or 2 years, your Bobo by Amamo, Yadamasi, Yamisha Munina.
The gospel according to miracles, Abuaje.
Yeri. Mami found to America and call a polling stations to Dodua, Abba from various regions.
Presidential.
JB and Afia will be dealing with the parliamentary results and for raging. I have for our 836 polling stations. I have for our 836 polling stations. Seseya meno ekaseno 448 out of the 836 polling stations, representing 53.6%, and Abidru. John Dramani Mahama is leading Ahafo region now with 64,676, and Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia, and so it was 57,322. We've told you time without number that the NDC may pull the biggest surprise in Ashanti region in this year's elections. Now, let's see. Ashanti region, it was 7,100 polling stations, the whole Ashanti region. Seseya Menoka say, emu 3,180 and Abidru. Central Kumase, Nina no Kabuma, polling stations aka SSA Ebano, endu 200. 83,180 in Abidru, representing 44.8%. Seseya Menoka say, John Dramani Mahama, it was 293,317 votes. And Afeino, Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia, it was 605,946. So John is gradually hitting half of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's votes in the Ashanti region. Then you call a year. Thank you. Sorry. You call a year Bono regional. Say Bono 1,574 polling stations. My message was, the captain, how did you do that? But your history records. I mean, polling stations in there across, but we are doing it better. We are doing it better. That's our chair here. Bono, 1,574 polling stations. Sesi ameno kasi, emu 758 enaba. Also John Dramani Mahama LED 102,720. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia 85,788. Oba Bono Easter, 1,534 polling stations. Sesi ameno kasi 674. Ena Aba Abidro, and also John Dramani Mahama LED 107,034 votes, and then Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia was 64,382. Sesi as it stands, polling stations now Abadinina for now no Aba Abidro no. By percentage, John Dramani Mahama is leading with 57.2%. 57.2%. Now Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia was 42.2%. Solomon Amankwa ewo phone so Solo Madwe.
Then I'm also
Pacho ma yentio.
Right, then I'm say and you may share a phone now almost show on TV here on 95.1. Meroka say the me wo a year library, new library, almost you are from the Electoral Commission, or more every year the coalition center, a year phone customer so constituency. Now, it is expected around 272 polling stations and day or more a year materials ever. Now, returning officer, it's me at the normal quality in an afraid, or my traffic gets not boom no day, a year, or my kidney, Abiyono, near MTP, Ebenya, and Afrinia, NDC, Benya, other parts that would do a council on Benya. But you can say here, around 130 years, and Yababidu, I'm a cute, for more air kind, 24 air trading say around 140, and so by the Kaho, and Hasi now, omitting your kind in now, over the processor air costana, it's not the employing community. We now we have a trasso, we have a trasso. Also, you know, she say, yes, I think Kata de Bridomunia and polling station on my Omeka Yamina boom, Yabet throw on Kata, now what the no at the above. The Electoral Commission, Wamuka Coalition Center on Nafi, or making me Akikanina at the boom or the Terminoka said, yes. The exercise is very, very smooth. And Yadia and Tokobia SC, SCC, from the polling stations up to the coalition center, and Yadia and Tokobia SC, and upon Mumna, maintain one of the polling stations. A biometric verification device, not a year juma, and a cofa to went to Kakra a buyer. If not, a bit more percent, according to the EC, manual verification, but the EC officials no so much say, Nanka, biometric verification device, no a year juma, and can ombe boomina to almost 10 years. Emma a year Abatoɔ no delay Kakra, but Nina actually a baswa. Which went to be a NCA MP, our year incumbent, Honorable Joseph Akwete Tete, the Abatoɔ, on what to the name Joseph, I see Abatoɔ, the Electoral Commission, Abomodin Pa, or said or no, or Mahokika at here, and they said, Mumu Homa, Abatoɔ, Tinakoya, or no Kasa for the first time because. So as soon as MPP, or more parliamentary aspirant, will pray for MP, and will a year for Kantamaso Hasi, opinion de William Ofoshu Asante, and also Eddie Abasubodi Edima Isino, Amubambo, not Edgar Brane, police for fire service for prison for immigration for Amubo, a year. by in their numbers for the first time. Where the way and police for no any beto abano relate here. Now it means intrapersonal relationship no. And to be has said yeah. You know, can say the connection of the about 130 boxes and penetrating me. I say I can boom. To it says about 142 boxes and also kind from other polling stations. For now, Dibia a calm and Chokobian see Obian Bro via Obian Kofan Cat and Kofan Cat and Kofa 7 by. I can answer the processes a very smooth of the expert to say. The issue as no sound of the Korea and Korea now resource even your collecting centers, never do even your police stations, never do collecting center. Let us talk for one and Chaba, who be NDC, or more a year and the whole Waha, or Mujina. Also, one crowd, I say one extra, or making sure at least on the Yomekuma, MPP for so a year, PPP a year, and I say a year. Movement for change together with the new force but general near a year one constituency way more the rise of the new force. And come here, say, could be expected to say, maintain or no award and Yamamu Dada or Mayomu Dadano, Linka A Bia or Numbabe the third force. But over Cantamansoha. Kamia said the new force in Mum, abandoned all some of the police station, Otinia 5, Otinia 4. Now a year movement for change, Enya 0, not movement for change, Enya 1. And there was no police station within Cantamaswa. Movement for change, Enya Abano and the door, saying a year the new force. It tells you that the new force, gradually gaining weight. So to me, for now. Then from the polling station up to collation center, I can confidently tell you, sir, the National Democratic Congress was an upper hand and was I remember, sir, since 1992, and not any other political party any seat apart from the NDC from 1992, ever 96, 2000, 2004. 2008, 2012, 2016, 2020, NDC and Alpha Ecuano. This time around, it looks as if Abano Munya, it was surging as a force a blow in 2020. And no more His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama is likely to win this particular election right from the polling stations. It is out for more NDC, for more Achobenia, no matter how, about the collation center. I must say, and they will make sure that every ballot is counted. Say, one Ukraine, they want to make sure that it is being counted. In a year, new library, collation center.
Was say Solomon Amankwa BBS Chira. Bema Metal Zafrel. Solomon Amankwa would say Nenkano Abatoɔ de saa na tie yana ayede na chese obi jide ne kakra no bi su kakra no bi sere kakra. I mean it's normal. Say no me do be tubirika me mbo polling stations dodo a abano na we no ye kwa ni mu kakra, and then let me refresh this and then we'll take it from there. That's why I say ewo ahafo John Mahama and LED with 65,986 and I feel Dr. Mahmoud Baumia ako 58,583. Ashanti region John Mahama in 304,549 and I feel Dr. Mahmoud Baumia ewo 605,915 into Ashanti region. EC press conference. Yenkofa EC4 press conference.
We still have voters in the queue, but would be allowed to vote provided they were there at 5. Currently, collation of both presidential and parliamentary results are underway in all the 276 constituency collation centers. The commission wishes to inform the leadership of all political parties and presidential candidates that the collation centers are restricted areas. Only persons who have been accredited by the Electoral Commission can have access to the constituency collation centers, and each candidate has 2 agents at each of the collation center. There is no need for the collation centers to be overcrowded. Reports from the regions indicate that about 60% of the polling station results have been received at the constituency collation centers. We also have reports of the number of second requests for recounts at polling stations. So far, we have only one polling station, which is the Suaman constituency in the Western North region, which has recorded a second recount for votes at the constituency collation center for the final recount by the returning officer. With respect to the performance of our returning officers and collation officers, they have performed their duties creditably and professionally and have so far been very impressive. And the commission would still urge them or encourage them to discharge their duties professionally as they start to collate results at the various collation centers. With respect to security presence, their presence at the collation centers has been stable and very encouraging. The police has been able to maintain effective security at the collation centers so far, although a few of the centers that have been overcrowded, they have been brought under control by the police. We also have some observers at the constituency collation centers. We have CODIO, we have ECOWAS, we have AU, and the Commonwealth. With respect to political party or candidates' agents at the collation centers, most of the candidates have their agents currently at the collation centers where collation is ongoing. The candidates have been very cooperative at the constituency collation centers so far, and we still urge them to cooperate with the commission to ensure a seamless collation process or exercise. With respect to the media, the commission appreciates the high level of their professionalism demonstrated so far. But we, however, urge the media to always verify or cross-check their information, as well as, importantly, the results that they put into the public domain. On this note, we would want to thank all of you, and from here, we will be heading towards the collation center, the National Collation Center, and wait for the results from the regions. Thank you.
The Electoral Commission press conference, I don't know, a National Coalition Center and Mami Jean Adukwe Mesa, and the presiding officer, the presidential elections. As it stands now, offer polling stations now, abedruno enyina, polling stations now, abedruno enyina no. Don't forget, say, your 40,976 polling stations. Now, 17,676 and abedru. Now, and on John Dramani Mahama, Eli did with 2,635,087. And Dr. Mahmoud